Oh, the draft is coming, folks. Let me read to you here. I wrote the words down verbatim here. Okay, this is from a document talking about manpower needs. The Army was short 20,000 recruits last month. They're now going to be short, they estimate 25,000 this month. They're not meeting requirements. That's because warriors don't want to be woke. I'm being very serious. That's why. And they don't want to be thrown into a meat grinder in Ukraine. Do you know now with the frontline troops in Ukraine, I'm reading some casualty reports coming out, 80 to 90% casualties in these units. This is what your kids are going to be going to pretty soon. Here, let me give you the documentation here, okay? From the recent draft projection report for the U.S. military, they categorize this as casualties, replacements, and reconstitution. Replacements is the key. Clearly, there are already plans to put frontline existing veteran soldiers into Ukraine and fight. To me, there's no other way to interpret this. And then they went on to say in the document that we need to engage in a limited scope draft. Well, first of all, that's BS because there'll be no such thing as a limited scope. There won't be any such thing. They'll take as many people as they need. When the Vietnam War started, they said, well, okay, if you're in college, you get to the next semester to go. It's okay. We'll even let you finish, maybe college deferment. And then, of course, you got a marriage deferment. And so then they started doing is they did away with college deferment. Then everybody got married. And then they did away with marriage deferment. You could have a family deferment. Then they did away with that, which just progressively because the manpower needs just got bigger. And by 1968, we had 500,000 ground troops in South Vietnam. Still couldn't make the country the way we wanted. Not because of the soldiers, because the strategy was flawed. Intentionally draw out the war, maximize military profits. Boy, I'll tell you, war is a great racket if you can get on both sides of it. You get supply both sides. You get to do the banks to loan for the buildup. You get control of the banks to pay for the end of the war and the cleanup and all that. You pay for the war while it's going on. It's a great job if you can get it. Problem is, though, is they want to send our kids into it. And I've been saying this forever. This is the danger. Look at Biden's a liar. We won't send the A-1 Abrams tank. They sent it. We won't send the F-16. We won't send drones. They sent them. Okay. All these things they said they weren't going to do, they've done. We will not send, this guy, Woodrow Wilson, I will not send young American boys to the battlefields of Europe to die. And it's exactly what he did. It's exactly what he did. And they want to do it to your kids. I have to ask you a question, parents and grandparents, and also young men and young women, because it's going to be women too. What is your line in the sand? What is your line in the sand? When are you going to say, hell no, we won't go? When are you parents and grandparents going to stand up and say, this is it. We're mobilizing the country now. We're standing up to your tyranny. We're saying no to all your BS. We don't even have a treaty agreement with Ukraine. See, I've been for humanitarian aid. But why aren't we trying to negotiate a ceasefire? That's not the goal, is it? Just ask BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard. There's no money in ceasefire. I have a kid that will be a draft age. Guess what? He ain't going. Well, all of you take the pledge. We ain't going. You know how the Me Too movement caught that real catchy phrase and it got people's attention and said, yeah, we can't allow sexual assault on women. Of course not. And the Me Too movement, we need a catchy phrase like that. How about the not me movement? Not me. Pass right over. But I volunteer Antifa. No more. Folks, I'm telling you, we're not going to go through this. And I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to happen in my household. I don't care if we have to go to Costa Rica. Ain't happening, Joe. I know he thinks as he sucks down his ice cream cone, it'll just make you. Well, we'll see how many millions you can make. Ladies and gentlemen, spread the word. I read to you right from the document here. They're having a draft. and it ain't going to be long. And I think that, I honestly think that some of this drill on October 4th is about gathering data for this purpose. They will hunt you down. Not if there's millions, they won't. We'll see you back here next time. Thanks for joining us.